Hey, welcome back. This is East Meets West Vinyls. I'm here with my main man, Fubi. And it's our second episode here. And as you can see, we have no sponsors, so we have a white wall. But our first episode, if you didn't get a chance to see it, it's all about, kind of introduction to Japanese record collecting. And we talk about all the types of OBs that are out there, what their purpose was, and actually the origin of it. And so, really cool stuff and really good information that I learned too regarding the, when it was, how they started with the left wing. It's really cool stuff. But today we're actually going to talk about, everyone's always talking about how they want to collect Japanese records. You get 1977 records that are like pretty much near mint. So they love collecting, at least when, I get buyers that want to buy from me, they're just loving the records, like 1978. And it's like near mint. I mean, the binding is perfect. The OB's like you just opened the record, basically, and just bought it. You went back in time or whatever, and bought it brand new. But we want to talk about the quality of the records here that are manufactured in Japan. And so let's go ahead and get right on into that for Record 101 collecting in Japan.
We have one good sample. This is Macross, Japanese anime, huge title.
Yes.
And look at this
one of my favorites.
Cover is thick and smooth.
Yes.
Right? It has a poster here.
Yes. Yep. Poster insert.
We have to talk about a little history of Japan. As you all know, Japan is a small island in the far east, right? And we have the pretty long country closure from the samurai era, like a 16th century.
Pre-Meiji, yeah?
Yeah. It was called national isolation. It was national isolation.
Where everybody was at Civil War?
Actually, Japan stopped trading with the foreign countries.
Right.
With few exceptions, right?
Right. That was what it wasn't that it's Yokohama? Or was that where was that port at where no
Kyushu.
Kyushu. Yeah. That's how you go way far.
Yeah.
More far.
Only exception was Holland, Netherlands,
okay.
China, and Korea, and Okinawa. At that time, Okinawa was another country.
Right.
Yeah. So only for those exceptions was the trading partners, but besides that, Japan was closed. So we were literally living in a small island.
Right.
So
the world was much bigger then too.
Yes. People don't have freedom to go out. I don't like this rule, or I don't like this government. So I have to find another frontier, or I
need more rice land.
Dreamland.
Yes.
You cannot do that. We live in an island.
Yes.
There's no way.
Small island.
There's no exodus, right?
Right.
People have to think how to live peacefully in Japan, inside Japan.
In a small, small island.
So if you have something in your mind, if you express it with the big expression,
right? Like, I got an idea.
Yeah, such as big voice or big opening mouth, or.
What you trying to say, man?
If you do that, it might cause a conflict, right?
Yeah, I like how you said conflict.
Yeah. So we don't want to do that because we cannot go out. So we want less conflict in this small island. What Japanese started to do is to assume. Not to express. Just assume what the other people
mind
want.
reading?
Yeah.
They don't want the confrontation, right?
No. Very good at assuming things. Maybe he thinks this way. Maybe she thinks this way. So you should assume what I want.
Yeah, that's right,
That is the basic way of Japanese thinking, don't you think so?
Well, it is. It's totally, dude. And you know what? Two people can be totally wrong. And then you get. But it's kind of funny because we know how in let's say America, they have that thing book. Men are from Mars, or women are from Venus. And now you have a whole brand new one in Japan. Where this dude's from Uranus, and you know what I mean. So yeah, this assumption and not being direct is like the main thing here in Japan. Is and not be confrontational.
So when it comes to making things, manufacturing things,
that's how this connects.
You always taught to do it properly. Don't pretend like you're doing your job. If you do something, do it properly.
Do it right.
And one more thing, so-called Japanese sense of value. The biggest thing is honor.
Right.
Honor.
Which just goes back way back.
Yeah. example, samurai, they
Yeah.
die for honor.
Exactly.
Right? They die
And they're
for
happy
honor.
to die. They're happy if they get
Yes.
killed by the sword. They're like, yeah, mofo.
If you do a shitty work,
Yeah, there goes your honor. You're fucked.
that will be your disgrace.
Yep. Family's
You
disgrace.
don't want that. We are living in a closed community,
Right.
right? So family name is very important.
Everybody's your neighbor.
Yes, family honor is very important.
Mhm.
So you cannot leave the evidence of you pretend like working. You
Right.
pretend like doing things
Right,
in a
right.
way. You don't pretend.
Right.
You do it properly.
Right.
So this is the Japanese way of thinking.
That's which makes so much sense of how the
Yeah.
quality
So
is not just records, but
if you are engaged in, let's say, simple labor, you have your pride here to do it properly.
right,
It's not matter of the machine performance.
right,
It's the performance of the people, performance of the worker. That their standard for job is pretty high here.
oh, yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. You can see that in the quality, and it's unfortunate now with the the world has become a lot smaller now with SNS and the internet, and everybody has connection to everything, and also people want things for a lot cheaper. They don't care about quality as much as they'll buy it 10 times for $5 instead of buy it one time for like $50. But yeah, no, that's one thing I loved about Japanese product as opposed to let's say mass produced in China. It's all factory. It's not really handled by one person that cares about the job and the quality that they're doing. They have no honor to back their product quality up, where here it was. So that's why I love collecting Japanese records, whatever quality. If I could get a Japanese version, I'd do it. But that basically is the groundwork for why the quality
It's high, right?
is high, and that they get sustained for so many years without looking like they've been through hell and back. One thing also I noticed too, like when I was a kid, I grew up in America, so and you were in New York when you were a kid too. People always carried their fucking records to school.
Yeah.
We didn't have the uniforms and shit like that. We didn't have so people would like throw. I mean, because this was their. Although we loved it so much, it still got fucked up a lot, And then, but we're in Japan, you got it. You
Stowed it.
That's it. Store it
Yeah.
away, I mean, this is 1984, I think it is. 84? 83? Solid, man.
Solid.
Black Sabbath, the live album with Dio. Was that Live Evil?
Live Evil.
Right? Now, compare that record, I wish I had it here now, to this anime, Macross record. This solid, this is so solid. I mean, I can fucking use this as a table, man. I just put
Yeah.
right? Seriously,
Yeah.
where you would never do that with the other records. It was just like it was a lot more flimsier, but I would never notice that until I actually had something to compare it to. And when you compare it to records of from Japan at this time, you can just see the printing quality on here. I mean, the gatefolds, as you're playing the records all the time, these would be torn up already, like hardcore, dude. Like you split it apart. Where this is after so many years, it's freaking 83, dude, and it's just near mint. It sustained the test of time. It's really cool stuff. If I could buy a printing thing where they're using thinner paper for the covers, and I'm saving like this much money, but the price of the record's still the same, you're making that much more profit, right?
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Got to make that money, man. And that was the deal there. Where in Japan, what you're saying is they didn't care about that. They cared about the quality more
Because
over
we
than
have
anything.
the standard, right? You cannot go below, right? And
Standard.
that standard, the line, I think it's pretty high here.
Right, yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And not just records, for everything almost.
Everything.
And if you look at here, we talked about the pricing as well. There's always price, gouging, where let's get this one lower, let's price this down, So the ma and pa shop could not compete with Tower Records.
No.
But here we have all the OBs are printed with the price on there, and they had to sell them at that price.
Yes, we have the strict law, and everything have to be sold in a list price. All novels or record, same price everywhere.
And it was law that they had to print the price
Yes,
on there.
you have to print it.
Okay, so that way, so if you had a little tiny record shop on the corner of the street, your mom or your dad, your aunt, your grandma, it was the same. If you went to Tower Records, it would be the same price.
Same.
So it was just whatever they could afford to stock, correct? Okay. And we talked about pricing being so high too. This was like a $30. You mean in America records were costing, what do you talk about, $8.99?
Yeah, I think when I was living in America back in the day, I was a child. I think I bought a record for 95.
Which record
I
was
think.
it? Which record did you buy? What was your first record in America you
My
bought?
first record was Diary of a Madman.
Was it really? Oh, that's a fucking good fucking record,
That's my
dude.
very first record.
That's your
cool,
first,
right?
That's
cool,
a
right?
good. All right,
Diary of a
I was
Madman.
gonna say like a dad, more, you know, the Osmonds or something.
Ozzy Osbourne was my first vinyl.
Wow,
I
that's
think
fucking.
I bought it
So
$8.95.
this explains you now because of that, right? Right?
All
That's
my
funny.
friend in school
Mm.
was listening to Duran Duran.
Oh yeah, that was
and-
popular at the time. I remember that. Yeah,
Madonna.
Mhm, that was
of
the
course.
shit. Then.
I think that's the one good reason why these records still in mint condition.
To this day,
Now.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You get top dollar, you know,
Yeah.
selling records or buying them.
Simple answer is, it's expensive. It's not something that you throw away on your bed
Yeah, it's
like you did.
I did. I got carried. I do just put my backpack. I was in my bike. You know, I'd fucking do that. Yeah, I took my record. I had, you know, my Kiss records. I took them everywhere.
This album cost 2,500 yen in '83. For this day, it's like 40 bucks.
40 bucks, yeah,
like
for a
40 bucks
record, dude.
For one record, right?
Record, right? Yeah.
It's pretty expensive.
And look at the. You gotta imagine how much the cost.
Yeah.
You know, to put into that as well with the
Yeah.
quality. Like I said, I can fucking make a table out of that shit. You know, like a little.
Put in these plastic cover, you stored it with the respect, right?
Fucking security locks. Don't touch my fucking records.
So that is the reason why the record is still in good condition after 30 years, 40 years, 50 years.
Right. But let's say, you know, here, like I fucking, my Heaven and Hell US album, dude, I played that shit to hell, yeah. I played it every fucking day, you know, when I came home from school. But even here, you know, when you took it out, you still took very careful care of it.
Yes, we have a lot of style for like having tea
Right?
or flowers.
Yeah, or
Yes.
shot it, like
Yeah.
bonsai
we have
trees
a
and
lot
whatnot,
of
yeah.
art, right?
Right.
Yeah, bonsai, for example.
Yeah, everybody knows that, right?
It's-
Bonsai.
Yeah, we have respect for everything.
Right.
There's a God in everything.
Mm.
Because we don't believe one God, like a Jesus Christ
Right.
or Allah. We have
Right. So the history of Japan.
we have thousands of God, right? We have a God in the sky. We have a God in the land. We have a God.
It's like,
in
almost like yokai too, right? Yokai is gonna because
Yokai?
yokai is in everything too, right? Yokai can be
Yeah,
in the
but,
chair.
but yokai is kind of monster.
Yeah, but you guys.
Yeah, but there's everywhere.
Japan's got gods and monsters.
You're right, because after the long years,
Mm.
stone turning into yokai, right?
Right.
After long years, thing have soul.
Yeah.
They turn into monster.
This record could have a yokai. Ninmei could coming right out of this thing and show me her opai.
So there's a
Sorry.
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 there's a God in everything, right? God in stone,
Right.
God in wood. There's a God in a paper, God
yes.
in a vinyl. So there's a God in everything. You have to treat everything properly.
By force, man. It's like
Treat-
Jedi, dude.
Treat with respect. When you play your record, you treat the record with respect. Put the needle on with respect, right? That's what we do.
And that's why I'm so happy that everyone did that here, because I could get my records hella mint condition when I buy it.
Yes.
And so yeah, I mean, when you go to the record shop, I mean, I love there's a place called Amoeba Records. It's still around now. I mean, unfortunately, Tower Records is no longer around. But yeah, I would always go to Amoeba, but if you just go through the bins, excluding like the new records that are out today, you just see how just tore up these records are. You know, it's like. Then you go to Japan and go to a record shop like Disc Union and whatnot, and although they do have Tower Records and HMV, you know, still alive and well, but if you go to Disc Union, you go through used records, it's like you're going through a new record shop. You know, it's like everything's still brand new in there, and it's just amazing stuff, man. So if you guys gotta, you know, for all you people that are into Japanese record collecting, when you come, if your first time coming to Japan, you're gonna just be like, whoa. That's all I can say. Whoa. So remember, after you buy it, to treat everything with respect, with honor, like it was a God.
There's a God here.
It's somewhere. But yeah, I mean that makes sense. God is everywhere. If you look at, if you talk about even Christianity, God is everywhere. So it makes sense. The Japanese God's in here, God's in there, God's in there, God's in this beer. Thank you. Woo, cheers. And so, but yeah, that explains why these records are so. People always ask why the hell are, these records so mint condition, and I hope that explains it, because dude, there's a freaking God in here, man. But no, the quality, there was honor and pride in which they would take, and when they, whether it be designing, whether it be printing, from the person just printing the quality, setting up the printer, everything was taken with pride because their name was attached to it. From a big part to it to a small part to it. So your name was a part of the wheel. Our next episode, what we're gonna do on our next one?
Let's talk about particular artists, maybe.
Yeah, well, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we can talk about. Oh, I'm a huge Kiss fan, so we can.
Let's do that, bro.
Talk about this. Well, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to talk about Kiss because I also sell a lot of records that because I'm always upgrading. I found a better quality one, and so they're always asking what are the difference between OBs and stuff, which we covered in the first one. But each band also has their kind of system, and each record label, Victor, Columbia, what have you. So cool. All right, well there you have it, man. I hope you learned something about why Japanese records are so much always look like they're in mint condition or near mint condition, and there was very good plus from like 1960s and the 70s. So yeah, there you go. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man.
Thanks, man.
Cool. We'll see you next time on East Meets West Vinyl. Whoa!